appreciate your leadership.
Thank you, Elaine, and I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
That was Representative Tyrone Brooks calling from Atlanta. We always appreciate him. Now, in recent news, you have been reading, where people are trying to talk about the Democratic Party. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not in the Democratic Party. And so what I've pulled up, they want to talk about what's wrong with the Democratic Party. Well, I've got an article here that tells what's wrong with the Republican Party. I think fair is fair. We're going to take this call, and then I'm going to get back to that. Good afternoon, Ask Elaine.
Good afternoon. This is Darlene Taylor. How are you?
This is who?
Darlene Taylor.
Yes, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy I was able to get through. At first I said, wow, there's so many callers.
We do have a lot of callers, and we're just so grateful. Thank you so much, callers. This show is becoming so popular, and we want to hear from as many people as possible. So just keep on calling. If you don't get in this week, then call again next week. And as I said, we're hoping to try and purchase more time on this radio station. We hope that we will be able to do that. Maybe if we get a few more sponsors, we will be able to do that. But go ahead with your comments.
Oh, yes. I was calling because I'm with Lakeview Club Apartments, and we're having a meet and greet political candidates for mayor, District 2 and 3 on Saturday, which is this Saturday, July the 20th, from 3 to 7. There will be an open house and a free fish fry. And everybody's welcome, and you've already accepted your invitation.
Yes, I have. I will certainly be there. Tell us where Lakeview is.
Lakeview Apartment is at 2800 Maxwell Road in Macon, Georgia, 31217. And you might look at it being behind Fountain Golf Course.
Right.
And also Recreation Road turns into Maxwell Road.
Okay, tell us again what it is. It's a free fish fry, and
yes,
candidates for office for the mayor's position and districts 2 and 3 will be are invited to attend, and all residents living in districts 2 and 3, basically the east side of town, are invited to attend. Free fish fry at Lakeview Apartments.
And this is a rain or shine event. Right. We have a facility where you won't get wet and you won't get too hot because we'll be in the ballroom. We can't be outside on the ground. So it's a rain or shine.
Right. I just think this is wonderful, and the owner there and the businessman who has renovated this, Mr. Rowland, we just are so impressed with him and what he's been able to do. This is a minority business owner who's come in and he's renovated those apartments. He's done a wonderful job with the whole structure there. We at City Hall have placed that particular area in one of the zones for some tax credits and incentives, and he has done just hundreds of thousands of dollars of work on his own, and so we just compliment him. We congratulate you for working on this project to bring the community together, sort of a reunion. So we encourage people to go out there. I will be there. Tell us the hours again.
The hours are 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
3 to 7.
July
7.
20th.
All right, July 20th. Y'all, that red pen that you have, mark the 20th, and make sure that you put free fish fry, Lakeview Apartments, 3 to 7, and please be there. I'll be there, and I'll be glad to meet each of you, and I'm sure you'd love to meet the new owner of those apartments, and meet Miss Taylor as well. She's worked extremely hard on this project.
Yes, and the office manager and assistant manager, one of them will be on the premises too.
Okay, all right, that's great.
We just hope that everybody comes out and that this is a success. And we also have voter registration.
Oh, I see.
And she's going to have some people there to help with
that would be wonderful.
We are just excited about this, and we want people to see and to know, because I'm one of the residents at Lakeview.
Oh,
see what it's like to live in Lakeview, and we're looking at it being a livable community.
Right.
That's one of the new terms that they're using.
Well, that's wonderful. And you're a member of St. Luke Baptist Church, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Reverend Marshall Stinson.
Yes.
Yeah, he was one of the pastors we love back several months ago, and we love him as well. He and Mrs. Dr. Stinson. We love them both. And thank you so much for your hard work in the community. Thank you for your work on this project, and we will see you on Saturday.
All right, and thank you so much for having this program.
Sure, we're glad.
We love it.
We're going to try and expand if we can.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Godspeed.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we want to go back to the Georgia Informer. We're partnering with the Georgia Informer, Herbert Denard, and he has an article in the latest edition, Best Women Pastors in Middle Georgia. We'll get to that, I guess. We've got another caller. Good afternoon. Ask Elaine.
Hey, Elaine, how you doing?
Doing great, Dr. Ficklin. How are you?
I'm doing fine. The show has been so good today.
It has been wonderful, hasn't it?
I hated to interrupt, but we only have about 8 minutes left.
And I'm going to give you 5 of those because I want to talk about the best women pastors, and then I got to tell everybody about what's wrong with the Republicans because they have the nerve to get on. And do you know that this week's close-up has Alan Peake, a Republican, on there talking about what's wrong with the Democrats? How dare he?
I did not know that.
How dare he get on there and talk about what's wrong with the Democrats? Let's get on there and talk about what's wrong with the Republicans, starting with birther legislation, voter ID, all of those kinds of things, trying to kill health care legislation for all of these people, these 32 million people without health insurance. Let's talk about the Republicans. I've got an article here that I want to share with everybody, which talks about how young Republicans have turned their backs on some of these extreme Republicans like Alan Peake. But we want to hear what you have to say today, and thank you so much. I appreciated you coming to the Distinguished Educators Board of Advisors luncheon today, where we pay tribute to our Board of Advisors of EL High School. And so now we want to hear what you have to share with us from City Hall.
Well, basically, I thought you were dedicating the program today to Trayvon Martin.
It is dedicated to Trayvon Martin.
Yes, to kick on, of course, we're at the beginning of the budgetary year, so that means that there's just not a lot of items to come before us at this time. But we do know that there are some things that are continuing, such as the $8 million for 2nd Street. They are issuing those contracts. But what I wanted to say, and I did want you to go ahead and get that out about what's wrong with the Republican Party, because we know that there is a lot wrong with it as far as it concerns people and doing what is best for people. I do want to hear that. But on the Trayvon Martin case, I did just want to point out that, first of all, they gave them a bad prosecution team, and that's a part of the system. These men were accustomed to prosecuting young black men in their courts, and they were not accustomed to defending and standing up for young black men. So therefore, they looked over a lot of things, and things that I normally, in my mock trial with my students at the Southwest High School Law Academy, we would have even looked at those things. For instance, dried blood on the head of Zimmerman, and they were supposed to have been fighting in the rain. Did that make any sense? Nobody asked any questions about why was the blood dry on his feet if it was raining outside, and why he pulled the trigger. Now, he did say in his own testimony, they didn't cash in on that he pulled Trayvon Martin's hands out and spread them out. Why was he doing that when they found him and was tucked under him? He was wiping off any residue from the gun on Trayvon because Trayvon had been tussling with him over that gun. That's what the whole tussle was about. They already had the gun drawn. They should have had a theory for that, to plant in the minds of the jury. And, of course, this jury is just unraveling now.
Wasn't that awful?
the gun was already out, and the reason that Trayvon was yelling, as Richard Gentile said on the show the other night, that he had an Android. He thought his phone was still on, and that she could hear him and get some help for him.
And he was yelling for her for help.
For her to hear it. So many things about this case that just does not make sense. And anybody who don't think that was racial profiling, to say that here is a young man who looked suspicious and he was black and all of that, and call in and then follow him and get out of a car and follow him and confront him because he had a gun. This whole time, Trayvon Martin did not know about the gun until he pulled the gun on him. And of course, for him to say that his last words was "You got me," that doesn't even sound like
ridiculous.
Something that a kid would say anyway. And if he really was out there fighting with him to hurt him, that can of tea, that Arizona watermelon tea, would have been splattered all over his head. I know if I had been fighting with him, that tea would have been.
Yes, sir.
But that boy was trying to get home with his little brother
to watch a basketball game,
watch playoff games. And it's just a sad thing that this country can sit up and let such an injustice go. And there are so many. I've gotten so many hate emails and hate texts and hate Facebook posts because I wanted people to sign up and ask that the Justice Department look into this. But they can send me all the hate mail they want. I'm still going to stand up for justice, and I'm going to stand up for justice whether they black, white, or any other color. That's what we do. That's what we've always done.
Right. We're kind of used to getting that kind of stuff, and that program early in the morning generates a whole lot of it. And if something were to happen to any of us, we lay it at their feet.
They love it when you mention them, so just don't mention them.
Look.
Don't mention them. Go ahead with the things that's wrong with the Republican Party.
Right. Okay. Thank you so very much, Dr. Fickley.
Yes.
All right. That's our eyes and ears at City Hall. Reverend Dr. Fickley has just such a wealth of experience. We're fast running out of time. We've enjoyed the show today. It's been wonderful. People have expressed their dismay and their hurt and their frustration at the Trayvon Martin verdict, but it ain't over. As my pastor, Pastor Maria Gordon, preached on Sunday, her sermon was, "It ain't over." And for those who are sticklers for speaking correctly, it is not over, she said, but it ain't over, because her message was that God sometimes allows terrible things to happen so that a whole lot of change takes place. And I'm looking for that change, but what I've seen is a lot of activists getting in gear, doing what they can. And we talked yesterday, and I want to congratulate Ms. Caldwell, who organized just almost overnight one of the marches from Central City Park down to the Federal Building, and had 75 young people with a few of us older folks there too, with her. I just congratulate her and thank her for doing that. But those out of tragedies sometimes come some good things, and so we are certainly hopeful that some legislative changes will take place, that people will have a new awareness that their freedom is not guaranteed. If you think that you are free and you go in a store and people watch you simply because you are black, and you have to teach your children that, then you are not free. We just tune in next week, because we're going to tell you about what's wrong with